What's up everyone, this is Kefren, your favorite French Canadian. Today we're diving into the world of retro gaming with two new handheld consoles from Anbernic. The first one is the RG34XX and the second one is the RG40XXV. Anbernic continues to bring us nostalgic design that remind us the golden age of handheld gaming. The RG34XX with its Game Boy Advance inspired look is available for around $70 USD. On the other end, you have the RG40XXV which has a vertical design like the RG35XXV. It costs around 66 USD. Both are very affordable, but are they worth it? Let's find out together. Let's start with the unboxing and the design. First of all, opening the RG34XX box, the first thing you notice is how much it looks like the GBA. Same shape, same size, same feel, even the same font on the box. The console comes in different color. You have the black, transparent red, transparent green, and indigo. The RG40XXV has a vertical design looking like a mix between the original Game Boy and the RG35XXV. It features an analog joystick at the bottom, which is quite rare for vertical model. The screen also is larger than usual for this type of console. You're getting a 4 inches IPS panel, 6040 by 480 resolution, making it much easier to read compared to standard 2.5 inches screen. Both models are well built with good plastic quality and solid buttons. As always with Anbernic, the build quality is excellent. Now let's see what's inside this console. For the RG34XX, you're getting a 3.4 inch IPS screen, 720 by 480, ideal for pixel perfect GBA gaming. The same chipset, all-winner H700 processor with Mali G31. You're getting 1 gig of LPDDR4 RAM. For the battery, you have the 3500 milliamp. Normally, you can do 6 to 7 hours with this console. You're getting also Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2, and mini HDMI for TV output. On the RG40XXV, you're getting a 4 inch IPS screen, like I said, 640 by 480, 4x3 format, great for retro games. Same processor and RAM than the RG34. And for the battery, it's a little bit less. You're getting 3200 milliamp battery. You will do around 6 hours with it. USB-C with fast charging and micro HDMI out, and native support for custom firmware. The joystick on the RG40 honestly make it more versatile for PS1 and N64 game. Though it's still limited, but honestly, when I play retro games, I really enjoy PS1, X64, and Dreamcast. So the fact that it has an analog stick is really good for me. Let's talk about gaming performance. Both consoles use the all-winner H700 processor, already seen in several Anbernic models. In terms of performance, you can run perfectly GBA, Super NES, NES, Mega Drive, PC Engine. Everything will run smoothly. Playable, I can say PS1 and 64 Dreamcast. Dreamcast, it can depend on the certain of game, but honestly, it runs really well. PSP and Saturn for 3D game are not that great. Honestly, your frame rate is pretty bad and it really depend on the game for the PSP. And forget about console like GameCube, PS2, Wii. The processor is just too weak for those kind of console. On the RG34XX, the lack of an analog stick can be an issue for some games. The RG40 has a slight advantage with its joystick, but it's not a game changer. After using both for a few days, here's my opinion. The RG34XX, if you grew up with a Game Boy Advance, this console will bring you straight back to that era. I spent hours replaying Sonic Advance and Final Fantasy on GBA, and honestly, it was pure fun. The screen is sharp, color looks great, and the buttons are responsive. For 2D games, the RG34XX is fantastic. It's perfectly recreate the original experience with solid battery life. The grip is okay, but people with larger hand might find it a bit cramped. The volume dial is a nice touch, though it takes some time to getting used to. On the RG40XXV, the bigger screen is a huge plus. It's clearer and more comfortable, especially for 3D games. The analog stick changed the experience completely. Playing Crazy Taxi, Wave Race, and Power Stone felt much better with a joystick than a D-pad. The vertical design combined with the stick make this console great for Dreamcast title and PS1 and N64 games. It's not as good as a real controller, but it's a nice improvement compared to other retro handheld without a stick. However, the rear triggers are a bit too sensitive, which can be annoying if you accidentally press them during gameplay. It's pretty much where I put my fingers behind it, so it can be tricky sometimes. So now let's talk about pros and cons, what I really like about those consoles. So first of all, the RG34XX, classic GBA design, good screen, a decent battery life. For the RG40XXV, comfortable for a vertical format, sharp 4-inch screen display, useful analog stick. Both are really well built and fun to use, and the battery life for both is around 6 to 7 hours. You can also have a custom firmware support if you want to install other stuff in it, so it's very flexible. Honestly, I really like those kind of console. What I didn't like for the RG34, and not ideal for big end, like I said, no analog stick. The RG40XX rear triggers are really too sensitive and not powerful enough. I see a lot of console from Anbernic and it's always the same processor. I really hope soon that we can run like PSP and Saturn 3D game well, not necessarily GameCube, but you know, I'd have a little bit more power into those console. The stock firmware also is pretty basic if you're used to Anbernic, so nothing really new over there, but honestly just use a RetroArch if you don't want to change your firmware. It will do the job for any games that you want to play. So to conclude, do I recommend this console? If you want a retro console, mainly for GBA, the RG34XX is an excellent choice. It's affordable, well built, and has a perfect screen for GBA games. If you prefer a more versatile model with a bigger screen and an analog stick, the RG40XXV is a solid option. It does everything that the RG34XX does, but with better comfort and a small advantage for PS1 and 64 and Dreamcast games. So my opinion, if you are a GPA purist, go with the RG34XX, but if you want something more comfortable and a bit more versatile, the RG40XXV is a better option. So, which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if it helped you, and see you soon for another tech review. Peace, everyone.